So then you have to say, like, I'm really watching a blurred docuseries TV show. This is not really how the world works, how the world of fifth level National League
No,
football works. Like,
because
it is a completely
money of
different
that
beast.
level, well, without the presence of the cameras, right? The ruining the presence of the observer ruining the experiment. Just the fact that the immense amount of money being dumped into a National League club, that's not
And that
normal.
never
That doesn't
happens.
make any,
Exactly.
yeah, that's not natural. Yeah.
Well, that is the equivalent of Michael Jordan joining the
Hmm.
Birmingham baseball team and buying the team a bus,
Yep.
like a brand new bus. It's like all of a sudden we're in a bizarro world now for our level, all because of one guy.
The
So it's
yeah
like,
oh, go
the
ahead.
question I'm asking myself as I'm watching Wrexham is like, I'm not really watching a soccer documentary. I'm watching something
You're
else.
watching a power
Well,
documentary.
I
Yes,
see.
that's right.
This is where I think that the next two episodes are gonna clear that up because I'm watching this and I'm saying this is Hard Knocks if they showed me the stuff that I really care about, right? Like not the hey is like there's some of that fringe stuff in the first couple episodes of which players are going to be here next year is who's going to be here for the Americans coming in with the money, right? But it very quickly starts to go into stuff like again the manager, the idea that he's coaching for his job right here, and he gets let go as a result, and the search for a new manager. The signing of there's a player called Paul Miller that they signed, who's again a couple of divisions above where they are, and an incredible goal scorer. And they say, well, one of the reasons why they have a chance to get him is because he wants to be close to home because he's got a young family. So they bring him in, and it costs them, of course, because you're asking someone to drop down divisions. And then they have like this scene where the other players are sitting around talking about something costs a lot of money. I like by the time I get paid, half of it's already gone to taxes, whatever. And someone says you should ask Paul to pay for it. He's got more than enough. And then they start mocking him and say, yeah, I told him you owe us 50 quid every time you miss the target because for the amount of money you're getting paid, you shouldn't miss fuck all. And like it's joking and laughing, but you're watching them like,
It's not
oh,
funny.
this is
Yeah.
serious. These guys are really like kind of like rubbed the wrong way that they opened the coffers for this guy, despite him being a great talent. And that's the stuff that made me realize when I watch Hard Knocks, I don't get to hear that. I don't get to hear the guy say, I'm fucking better than him. I'm better than that guy. You guys got Jared Goff starting quarterback. I'm better than him. I like. There's a little bit of that this season of Hard Knocks with the linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, where the coach is saying, "Hey, I don't care if he's an undrafted rookie, I'll start him because he's playing the best one out of this whole group." What we don't get is the group saying, "This brown noser over here, oh, you all up in the kissing coach, teachers, pet, da da da." We have none of that real part of that, which is a very human thing. We're getting that in this documentary and in this docuseries. And so even as I have my alerts up for, well, it is produced and it is not only produced by, it is the creation of the people who own the club. So that everything is going to have a sheen on it. I think there's a part of it because they are so far removed, because it's not like the Ford family or the Haslams or whatever, where it's like, this club is my life. They're removed enough. We're like, yeah, I'll show you the dirty laundry because that ain't me. I'm over here. I'm in Hollywood. And that to me is fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a scene in, I think it was the second episode that I did recognize. I mean, in that moment, it was the scene where they're actually in the locker room with the player who got red carded.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to see someone's reaction, not glossified. This is and not making millions of dollars so they can just console themselves that whatever, I got 10 million in the bank. You got to see somebody who not just disappointed his team, but knows that likely his professional career is over because he made a bad decision. And that's like a grittiness of sport that we almost never see anymore. That takes me back to like, you know, AAU games where you think so much is on the line, so much more than just money. Like back to your point, it's not just football, it's so much more than that. And having cameras in the room there for somebody who's not practiced at having cameras in the room created an interesting moment. So I don't deny that there is something about this where we get to see parts of sport that are different. It's just like to Howard's, you know, quick aside earlier, I feel like more so what I'm watching is a power documentary. Like, how big and influential is celebrity actually? Is it so powerful that we could leverage our way up? Like that, you know, the shows that people have made where it's like, you start with a spoon, can you end up with a house? And you've got to trade your way up.
Yeah.
That's almost like it feels like, okay, we're starting with 2 Hollywood celebrities. It's not that they have $1 billion in the bank, but can they leverage their power, their cachet to take a 5th level Wrexham team? And I'm probably, they think the sky is the limit, right? We're Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. And that's what I'm watching. Yeah.
Howard, is it exploitative?
Oh, of course it is. Anytime you put a camera on somebody, there's a reason for it. And it's going to change your behavior once you know you're being filmed. I think that the real balance that they're going to have to navigate is if and when the people of that town feel exploited. And that's when people will turn on you. It's all good because they're so downtrodden, they're happy anybody's paying any attention to them.
Right.
But what happens when the dynamic changes or if they want out? You're not invested in this long term. These folks are invested in this for generations. It has a dynastic quality that sort of makes both the two R's involved here. They look so out of place. As we go forward, we'll see if they become more enmeshed in this and it becomes a bit more personal. But part of it feels a little more like Empire as well. Let's just see what we can do. Like, it's almost in some ways in our American attitudes, it's like flip this house. You know, let's just take this little fixer and let's see what we can do with it. And you are playing with people's lives when you do that. On the other hand, you may be able to do a lot of good with that because people want that team to succeed. What I haven't seen yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in the documentary, is what's their attendance, since everybody lives and dies with this team so much. I haven't seen a shot yet where the stadium was full. But maybe it's also because of COVID.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I wonder traditionally, you know, there's a lot of passion, but do they sell out? Do they fill the house pre-COVID?